Hear directly from the governor as he engages the people, listens to their concerns and shares his vision for a brighter future. Explore the developmental projects embarked upon by his administration to change lives, from infrastructure, healthcare, education to tourism. Watch the rich history of the culture and tradition of Kano and savor the vibrant spirit that unites the center of commerce on Kano Spotlight, Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. only on TVC News. At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking it.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Gombes Transformative Journey. It is such a pleasure to have you join us once again. I am Landry Adeyemi. Today we'll start off by reviewing some of the major activities and events during the past week in Gombes State, and afterwards we'll be having a detailed and in-depth conversation with the Director General of the Gombes State Joint Development Project Agency. I think I modeled that up a little. Mohammed Yusuf will be sharing with us the achievements of this agency that is responsible for coordinating the projects between the local governments in Gombe and the state government. They're also doing a lot of things at the grassroots level. We'll be doing that and getting details of this when we come back from this short break. Stay tuned. Members of the House of Reps Committee on the Ecological Fund were in Gombe to inspect erosion control projects and find ways to collaborate with the state government. The national lawmakers were taking on a tour of some of the major erosion sites and what the state government has been doing to tackle them. The contractor handling some of the erosion control projects explained the challenges and the scope of the project.
This project spans to about 21 kilometers of different gullies of different sizes, out of which about 17 kilometers is a reinforced concrete channel, and as I earlier mentioned, only 4 kilometers are remaining. And out of the remaining, we have reinforced concrete channels that will be backfilled. After backfilling, there is bioremediation and fencing. So livelihoods of people and their properties will be protected in the rainy season, as well as there will be safety when it comes to flooding, flood entering to their houses.
The next point of call is a meeting with Gombe State Governor. After a brief birthday pleasantries to the governor, the federal lawmakers assured their host that the federal government appreciates the efforts of the subnational and they would ensure that the state receives all the support it requires.
We came purposely for an impact assessment visit on issues related to ecological challenges, erosion and others. While on our visit, we visited so many places. Sure, there are a lot of challenges, but our greatest surprise is the first and only state that we visited so far that we have seen commitment by the state government and the governor. To us, it is a clear demonstration that really you are governing the state by being a true leader, an exemplary leader, that we believe each and everyone need to have a leader like you, that if you invest 1 naira, you will see the impact of 2 naira in it. So Excellency, we cherish so much that one. However, we look at the challenges, we elicit the challenges, and we have seen the challenges, and we look at the piecemeal coming to you is by far inadequate, but the result is overwhelming. I want to assure you this visit is going to be a different visit from the other visit or the traditional way of visiting state by members of the National Assembly for such assessment. This is a visit that we want to put it into reality in order to channel the fund that we have before us to be utilized judiciously applicably and religiously to the desired need of the government.
On coming to office, we made sure we formulated a clear agenda based on the mission, so as to deliver on the needs and needs of the people. And that we encapsulated in the development agenda for Gombes State, which is a 10-year development plan that is hinged on 5 pillars that are aligned to the sustainable development goals, one of which is addressing the issues of environment because of its impact and its influence on livelihoods and lives of the people. And I'm happy to say that what we are doing has been yielding results. As of today, by the records, we have around 214 active gardens in Gombes. When I say active, I mean those that are really life-threatening and challenging, that would cause lives and livelihoods to perish in winter or no time. You might have seen them because you went around the town, and even in Gombes metropolitan alone, there are around 7 parks of such. But if you go through our remaining local governments, you'll see more. And we have around 214 active gardens. That is beyond the capacity of a local government or a state, or even the federal government. We need a concerted effort, a joint effort between the state, the local governments, and the federal government in order to address it. Yes, the World Bank has supported us through NEWMAP, which is Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project, which has passed. I just linked into it almost at the tail end of it when I came in 2019 as governor. But hurriedly we paid our counterpart and submitted designs and benefited from that. And the project that followed it, which is ACRISAN, we all equally keyed into it, and it is through those projects and the little effort that the state is making that we are able to maintain such environment. So when I got wind of this initiative from the House of Representatives, and they somehow need for us to open our arms, I said yes. I embraced my brother, the chairman, and equally all the members here. I'm happy to say that we relate very well with both the House of the National Assembly, Senate, and the House of Representatives. And indeed, we get every support we want from the federal government. But I think having to understand the basis and principles on which we need to collaborate is very key. And I believe that is the mission of this committee here today. So thank you very much for coming.
Gombes State government has spent billions of naira mitigating the effects of gully erosions. A major intervention and partnership with the federal government would be a much welcomed boost. Also during the week, the Nigerian Agency for Food and Drug Control destroyed unwholesome food items, drugs, and other commodities from across the Northeast Zone. Some items were voluntarily handed over to NAFDAC by traders and dealers, while others were confiscated during enforcement activities.
NAFDAC's resolve to ensure that nobody gets harmed by consuming products which is in the market that is unfit for consumption.
These products, if allowed to circulate, would have caused untold harm to countless individuals. By removing them from circulation, we are taking a decisive stand against those who seek to profit at the expense of public safety.
Kafin da mu samu bohal din nan muna zuwa kwari, rijiya, ɗiban ruwa, kuma gaskiya kafin mu je kwarin in mun je ma sai mun dan sha wahala saboda he an tona idan ruwan ya bulbulo a kwashe mara kyau sai mu dan ibi mai kyau din. Gidajen mu a ce mu je gidajen mu kafin nan ana rashin ruwa sosai. Gaskiya da muka zo muka samu aka mana bohal din nan ya kawo sauki saboda ba ma shan wahala kamar na da. Gaskiya muna godiya.
Yan Gombes rayuwa ta yi daɗi.
Welcome back. As I told you earlier, we'll be having a conversation with Yusuf Mahmoud, who will be sharing with us the achievements of the Gombes State Joint Development Agency, which is responsible for coordinating the project between the local government, the 11 local governments in Gombes State, and the state government. So let's start with the setup of the agency. It's a development agency that is meant to coordinate the project between the joint project between the local governments and the state governments. Ultimately is meant for the benefit of the people of Gombe, because the people at the grassroots don't really care if it's a state government project or a local government project, as long as development and the benefits of democracy gets to them. What's the idea behind the setup of this agency?
Okay, thank you very much for having me. First of all, I would like to correct this impression that this agency is only coordinating projects between local government and state government. From our mandate and the law that established this agency in 2020, we also have the mandate of interfacing with developmental partners, where if there is some foreign agency or even local NGOs that want to partner with Gombe state government, we can interface with them, discuss with them, and look at the modalities where they can interface with the state or the local government areas. So the impression that people are having that the Joint Project Development Agency only has the mandate of coordinating projects between state and local government is not true. We also have the mandate to coordinate projects between other developmental agencies and with either the state or local government councils. Like recently, the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, HUMO, they wrote to us on skill acquisition that they want to come and train youths in various local government areas. So we are just waiting for the time when we'll be having the Joint Project Development Council so that we can present that to the local government chairman, and any chairman that is interested, or even the state government, if they are interested, they can go into partnership with the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology so that they can train our youths on different trades. So to go back to your earlier question, this agency was established in 2020, and His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Gombe, established this agency, and we have what we call the Joint Project Development Council. This Joint Project Development Council consists of the 11 local government chairmen. His Excellency, the Executive Governor, is the chairman of the council. Myself as the Director General, and I'm also the Secretary of the council. And we also have the commissioners for local government, finance, works, and justice as members. That's what form the Joint Project Development Council. And any project that we are undertaking will have to go to the council. You understand? Not only goes to the council. In terms of the local government projects, any project that we are undertaking, those local government will write their priorities, their priority projects. That is why when you look at the contour of project that we are having presently, they varies. Some people now, we are constructing district head palaces in their area. Some people, some local governments, we are renovating secretariat. Like in Nakoda local government, we are constructing a brand new local government secretariat for them.
So each local government, each of the 11 local governments would come and say, these are our priorities, these the things that people want. Then the funding goes from both the state government and local governments into executing those things. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Yes. And the way we do is that the sharing formula is not fixed. And if we go through the project, you are going to see that some local governments are having much more projects than the others. That emanated because of their availability of funds. You see, when a local government submits its request that I want to do this, I want to do this, and I need the intervention of the state government. Why I said so is that all the projects we have so far undertaken are in the local government areas. And the states contribute, assist the local government to execute their own projects. But that did not take away the project that the state government is undertaking in various local governments. Let me give you an example now. In our local government, or a place where I came from, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Gombes State, Alhaji Muhammad Yahaya, has constructed a brand new hospital.
The General Hospital in Kumo.
General Hospital in Kumo that cost close to 7 billion. That project was not a joint project. It was fully funded by the state government. He is presently constructing about 8 roads from within the metropolis of our local government. That project is not a joint project between state and local government.
Kautungo General Hospital also in Kautungo local government, and the one in Bajoga is also a purely state government project, not joint project. But how do these joint projects now key into this? Because now the state government is helping the local government, then still executing its own projects separately.
Yes.
But now that the local government seems to be benefiting more than the state government.
The state government has not benefited yet. We don't know, maybe in the future. But from the project we executed from 2020 to date, the state government has not benefited, and it has been contributing. Sometimes they share the responsibility 50-50, sometimes 60-40, sometimes 55-45. And up to this moment, it is the local government that are benefiting. The reason why His Excellency, the Executive Governor of the state, established this agency and give the local government chairman the opportunity to present their request is that there are people at the grassroots whom maybe the state may not have the opportunity to reach out to them. And considering that the local government chairmen are more closer to the grassroots, they have their councillors. You know, each local government, they have their own councillors. So all those councillors are the council members of the executive chairman. They can go back to their grassroots and say, okay, what do we need? Do you need a borehole? What do you need? So they bring out their priority needs. And when we come during the joint project council meeting, they would present it, that this is what we want to do, and this is the money we feel we can contribute.
Okay.
So that we look at it, and the governor will now say, no, maybe at this point I can contribute 50%, or maybe at this point I can contribute 30, or maybe at this point I can contribute 15. But in all the projects we have executed so far, the state government has contributed in one way or the other, financially.
Yes. So let's now go to specific projects. I know you spoke about Akko, where you come from. The Akko local government, the state government, has constructed about 8 roads within the metropolis of Kumo and in some other communities. I know that right now in Akko local government is also constructing roads in Tonfrey, because people tend to forget that Tonfrey is part of Akko local government. And it's about a 10 or 11 billion naira project road network with street lights and drainages and some other things. I know that so many things are happening in Akko, but can you tell us some of the specific joint projects of local governments in Akko?
In Akko.
And maybe we can then go to some other local governments
in brief. Like in Akko now, before His Excellency come on board, the Akko local government secretariat was a moribund structure. It's unbefitting for human use. But when he come in, he now say, okay, let us look at the way we can renovate or reconstruct some of these local government secretariat. And Akko local government proposed 2 major projects. One is the reconstruction of the local government secretariat, and the second one is the reconstruction of the Gwana Emir's Palace along the airport road.
Yes,
Gwana. So presently we are doing these 2 projects in Akko. If you go to Balanga, when they submitted their own request, their major problem now is electricity.
Okay.
It will surprise you to know that for over 10 years, the local government headquarters in Balanga, they don't have light.
Wow.
They don't have light. Talase doesn't have light for a very long period of time. So when we come on board, His Excellency sent me there, Mahmoud, go and make a holistic assessment of what it takes to bring light to these people. And let me tell you, Bagelengu, who is a major town, doesn't have light. Swa doesn't have light. Remy.
So all those communities along that axis to Talase.
They don't have light, and it was even the governor that constructed a road to them.
Yes.
But from Degiri, from Degiri to Futoki,
yes,
to Kulani, down that axis they have light, but all the poles around that area are faulty.
Oh, okay. They were vandalized, most likely.
They were vandalized, but half of the local government they have light, but the other half they don't have. But even the half that has light, the connection was faulty.
Okay.
So we went there with experts. We examined the place because in their submission they say their main priority is to be connected to the national grid, and we are going to do that. Contract will soon be awarded for that purpose. So if you go to Kaltungo, they submitted their priority, which was the local government secretariat, who was blown off earlier this year during the beginning of the rainy season, and also a market. They don't have a standard market. We are reconstructing the two for them. If you go to Shongom, their local government secretariat got burnt off about 7 years ago, and it was not renovated or reconstructed. We have started work already. We have reached headquarters level. So if you come to Iliri, I believe you were here during that crisis, when the Kantoma market
it was burned down, and a lot of properties were also destroyed.
His Excellency has now awarded contract for the reconstruction of that market through the Joint Project Development Agency, and also they have one grains market that is not fenced. He has also awarded contract for the fencing of the grains market and construction of a police outpost at Antawalam police station. And so also earlier this year, from their submission, there is one bridge that links Gada Uku to Sansani. It got washed out by rain. And earlier this year, the governor awarded contract for it, and he directed us immediately that this is an emergency project. I'm happy to inform you that this project has been completed for the past 3 months.
Because so it was completed around maybe June, July?
June, July, yeah, because it was an emergency project. People from Sansani
were cut off.
They were cut off. They cannot come to Gada Uku and proceed to either Iliri or Kumu. So we took it as an emergency project and we completed it within 2 months. Yamal Tudeba, they submitted their own proposal, and part of their proposal is the reconstruction of the Yamal to Emir's Palace and the provision of solar street lights. So when we come to Kwame local government, when they brought in their proposal, their district head palaces are in shambles. Most of them are built by mud and roof by thatch. Understand? So we are now reconstructing 11 district head palaces in Kwame. We are 11, and that is all they have. This project, I am telling you, they have not been done since the creation of Gombes State. This is the first time we are
since 1996.
Yes. This is the first time we are reconstructing district head palaces. Go and ask anybody. You know, in the past, when a stranger comes into town, either be it a village or whatsoever,
you first go to district
you first go, you identify yourself, so that in case of anything, they know that we have a stranger. But it's no longer the case, because even the district heads, they no longer stay in their palaces for them to know who comes in and who goes out. So, and from the Gombe is one of the safest states you find in Nigeria. That is why we are #1 for 2 successive years in ease of doing business. And this street light now we are mounting, like in Kwame now, in all the wards we have installed solar street light in all the wards. Go, you can check Kwame, you can check Gadam, you can check Bojude, you can check Malan City, you can check Jurara, you can check Depampulari, you can check Maleri. In all these places we have installed enough street light to secure their lives, so that at least there would be. Some of these villages, they don't even have national grid. It is this solar street light that they sit down and enjoy themselves at night. And it enhances the security architecture of the state and the local governments.
We know that recently the Federal Supreme Court judgment granted autonomy to local governments, or asserted it, and the president has also said he's going to ensure that local governments enjoy their autonomy. Gombe has already conducted local government elections way back. We are not waiting to, it's not a new thing in Gombe that local governments are duly elected, But looking at this local government, do you think that as they are now, they can stand alone without the support of the state government?
I don't think so. There are so many local governments that I strongly believe that they will not stand on their own. Now, let me tell you, we have in this state a local government that has backlog of pensions of 10 years.
10 years.
10 years, yes.
That is 3 administrations away.
Yes. Backlog of pension of 10 years, pension of 10 years. And it was even because this present administration of Governor Mohammed has paid off 2 years backlog.
So
that is what it could have been 12 years. Now you can start imagining how will they pay this backlog of pensions and gratuities.
So does that not take us to the place of viability again?
Yes, and I think His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Gombes is already doing it by doing this biometric, so that everybody must come to work, and you must come to work so that you can be identified as a worker. So I strongly believe that so many local governments will not be able to take care of themselves, especially when this 70,000 naira is being implemented. Yes.
Many local governments will struggle. But maybe on that good side of it is the fact that allocation has increased. Since subsidy has been removed, some allocation to most states and local governments have significantly increased. It's a pleasure speaking with you, and it's always good to see technocrats, people with both the academic and intellectual capacity, and also have the on-ground experience to bring development to the people. And apparently, from what I'm hearing from people and what I've been hearing from people, you're doing a pretty good job.
Thank you very much.
And you've been executing the mandate of His Excellency, the Governor of Gombes State.
Yes.
And we hope to see some of these projects and achievements bringing meaningful impact or making meaningful impact to the people at the grassroots. So that's the much we can bring to you in this episode of Gombes Transformative Journey. We've been speaking with the Director General of the Gombes State General Government Agency, architect, also builder, Mahmoud Yusuf. He's also a PhD holder and the Secretary of the
Nigerian Institute of Building. Yes.
Okay. So thank you for staying tuned and joining us on this episode of Gombes Transformative Journey. Do join us again same time next week. But if you miss any of our episodes, you can watch it again on our social media platforms. I am Landry at the end.